Welcome in, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me today. I really hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you enjoyed the Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Switzerland World Cup soccer game. So, unfortunately, we got the short end of the stick in this game. Bosnia suffers a pretty bad loss versus Switzerland, 4-1 in the second game of group play. So, disappointing loss for Bosnia, but we still have hope in the last round. So, in today's video, I'm just going to give my take and reaction to the game, what I liked, what I didn't like, what players I felt like played good, what players did not play so good. And then we're going to look forward to the last game of group play versus Qatar and see if we have a chance. So we got some good stuff to talk about. Before we jump into that, I would like to mention that on my YouTube channel, I create content about money, sports, and personal topics with the goal of bringing value to your life. So if you find value in this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel so that I can continue making these videos. Hit that like button and make some comments on your reaction to the Bosnia versus Switzerland game. All right, let's go ahead and jump into it. All right, guys. So, big game two for Bosnia and Herzegovina in the 2026 FIFA World Cup group stage. After the first games, all four teams in the groups were tied, 1 point apiece and one goal apiece. So it was kind of as if they were starting the World Cup from scratch in the group. Everybody was tied. So this was definitely a big week, a big game for Bosnia and for all the countries in the group to see which one is going to jump ahead. So, big opportunity for Bosnia to possibly win the game, get 3 points, and with that, probably make the knockout stage. But that wasn't the case. Bosnia suffers a pretty bad loss, 4-1 versus Switzerland. This game was played in SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, California, or Los Angeles, California. So it was an amazing atmosphere to watch. The stadium was packed, one of the biggest stadiums in the world. A lot of Swiss fans, but there were also a lot of pockets of Bosnian fans. So just a lot of excitement going into this game, a lot of hope that we could get a win. Um, so just an amazing game to watch, amazing game to look forward to. And even though the result was disappointing, the game was still very enjoyable. And I think it was a good experience for all the fans. So let's talk about the game itself. So in the first half, the game was pretty quiet, maybe a little boring. Both teams were feeling each other out. Switzerland did have a lot more possession in the first half. Um, Switzerland heavily dictated the tempo and controlled 69% of the possession. But however, disciplined and compact Bosnian defense restricted their clear cut opportunities, keeping the Swiss frustrated heading into the interval. So Bosnia played similar to the way that they played in their first game versus Canada. It was quite defensive. We did not control the ball very much. And the Swiss really controlled the ball for most of the first half, and they had a lot more opportunities that we did. So I wasn't the biggest fan of that tactic again. We have to have some kind of offensive game, we have to have some kind of counter. I just think sitting back that much, it just invites opportunities for the Swiss in this game. And the game just feels one sided a little bit too much. I know the Swiss are a better team, and they're going to have control of the game and of the ball more than we are, but I think we have to be a bit more offensive and not quite as defensive, because we really didn't have a lot of opportunities in the first half, and we have to be a little bit more dangerous that way. Other teams have to respect us a bit more as far as our counter, as far as our ball control. So similar views that I have in this game rel- relative to the Canada game, a little too defensive in my opinion in the first half. All right, we get to the second half, and in the 74th minute, merely 3 minutes after entering the pitch as a substitute, 20-year-old Johan Manzabi pounced on a weak Bosnian clearing header and smashed home a brilliant first time volley to break the deadlock. So Bosnia was playing pretty good defense going into the first half, but again, being so defensive, the Swiss just had opportunity after opportunity. And when you give those opportunities to a team time after time, they're going to make you pay one of those times. And that's what happened in this game and in this opportunity in the 74th minute. And the Swiss are up 1-0. After that, still hoping that Bosnia can maybe get a tie and come away with a point in the last, 15, 20 minutes. But in the 80th minute, red card for Bosnia. Bosnia's comeback hopes took a massive hit when defender Tadic Muharemovic was issued a straight red card for a professional foul as the last man, bringing down Embolo on a clear break. So this was pretty bad for Bosnia. They ended up not scoring from the free kick, which was good, but Tadic Muharemovic gets a red card. He misses the rest of this game, and that really kills any opportunity that Bosnia had to come back in this game. And with that, Muharemovic is going to miss Bosnia's next game versus Qatar. So that's going to be a big blow for Bosnia's defense. So just a very, very bad situation there, to go down to 10 men in the game and then to miss Muharemovic for the next game. So just a very bad moment for Bosnia's team. And this might come back to haunt us, unfortunately, but we'll see what happens. After that, with 10 men on the field, 84th minute, Switzerland goes up 2-0, exploiting the newly open space. Swiss substitute Ruben Vargas doubled the lead by calmly sliding home a right-footed shot across the face of the goal, assisted by Embolo. And that was pretty much the game. Towards the end of the match, in the 90th minute, Swiss go up 3-0. Vargas turned playmaker, driving down the flank to deliver a precise pass to Manzabi, who side foots it into the net to complete his spectacular brace. So Manzabi scores his second goal of the game. And with that, I mean, I know the game is over, but my thought process was, we don't want to give up too many goals. If we end up being tied with somebody in our group, the goal difference is going to come into play. So that's definitely something to consider going forward. And we definitely paid the price in this game. In the extra time of the game, in the 93rd minute, refusing to leave empty handed, 10-man Bosnia struck a memorable consolation goal when a cleared corner fell to substitute Ermin Mahmic, who thundered an unstoppable 71-mile-per-hour volley past the goalie Gregor Kobel. So, very, very nice goal for Bosnia and for Mahmic in the extra time. It definitely stopped the bleeding for a little bit, and it was just a good moment for Bosnia's team, give us a little momentum going into the next game. Um, this was Mahmic's first goal for Bosnia, so that's good to see. But at the very last minute, 97th minute, deep into stoppage time, uh, one of the Swiss players was tripped by Amar Memic in the penalty box, and Swiss captain Granit Xhaka stepped up and coolly buried the penalty kick under the keeper to seal the final scoreline. So they get 4-1. So a big win for Switzerland, big loss for Bosnia. We had an opportunity, you know, initially in the game, but just the Swiss were too much with 20 minutes left. They were the better team and they deserved this win. We allowed a lot of goals, 4 goals, so that might bite us if we end up being tied. So disappointing as a Bosnia fan. I think we could have played better, controlled the ball more, had better counters, and just had more of an offensive presence. Again, too defensive, in my opinion, very similar to the Canada game. But we still have hope. We have to beat Qatar in the last game, and we'll see how the other teams end up going into the final game. But it would have been nice to be more competitive in this game and possibly get a tie. But congrats to Switzerland. They deserve this win. And we'll see if Bosnia can get it done versus Qatar next game. All right, let's just talk about some team statistics. So we know the score is 4-1. Possession 62% for Switzerland, 38 for Bosnia. Bosnia was better in the second half as far as ball possession before we got the red card, but we have to control the ball more because you can't just let the other team control the ball at these percentages and expect to be competitive. So don't like that. Total shots 13 for Switzerland, 4 for Bosnia. Shots on target 8 for Switzerland, 3 for Bosnia. So yeah, I mean, we definitely got to get more shots on goal. We got to expand our offense and give ourselves more of a chance, specifically in the first half, first 60 minutes of the game. Um, yeah, the goal at the very end was very nice, but it really doesn't matter. Passing accuracy 91% Switzerland, 84% Bosnia. Corners 7 for Switzerland, 3 for Bosnia. Fouls committed Switzerland 7, Bosnia 17. Switzerland had 1 yellow card. Bosnia had 2 yellow cards and 1 red card. So, I mean, similar stats to the game versus Canada. Bosnia playing very defensive again, trying to give itself opportunity in the second half, but that wasn't the case. So, um, anything else I want to share about the game? Um, I mean, I think, again, I like Bosnia's defense. Um, the guys in the back played really well, Katic and Muharimovic, but just with the lack of control of the ball and lack of offensive opportunities, we just really didn't have much of a chance in this game. All right, guys. So next, let's go ahead and take a look at Bosnia's starting 11 in this game. We did have some changes, so let's see what it looked like. So no change at goalie. So Nikola Vasil was the goalie. Defense, we had Sead Kolasinac, Tarik Muharimovic, Nikola Katic, Amar Dedic. In the midfield, we had Kerim Alajbegovic, Benjamin Tahirovic, Ivan Šunjic, Amar Memic, and the two strikers were Ermedin Demirovic and Edin Dzeko. So the difference in this game compared to the Canada game was that Edin Dzeko, fully healthy from his shoulder injury that he had, he got the start in this game versus Jovo Lukic, who got the start last game. We still had Ermedin Demirovic up at the top. Kerim Alajbegovic got the start in this game. So, but all the other guys looks like was pretty much all the same players. I think Šunjic got the start in this game, and he didn't get the start versus Canada. So, a different look for Bosnia. So, just starting from the goalkeeper Nikola Vasil. I mean, I think he's solid. He he does his job. He's not like amazing, but he's not bad either. He doesn't make mistakes. So I think it was just another solid outing by Nikola Vasil, just doing his job. So solid job by him. The defense, again, I know we allowed 4 goals in this game, but up to like the point before Muharimovic got the red card, I again like Bosnia's defense. I like Kolasinac. He's really strong on the left side. Muharimovic, he's really tall. He wins a lot of the head balls. Katic, same with Muharimovic. They're very good duo on the defensive end. Amar Dedic, good on the right side as well, playing good defense. He's also dangerous as an attacker. So I think it was another good outing by Bosnia's defense. Again, I know we let 4 goals, but before the red card, I think they were playing really well. And I think that's Bosnia's strength on the team is those 4 guys on the defensive end. In the midfield, again, I didn't see too much from the midfield. Alajbegovic, Tahirovic, Šunjic, Memic, they didn't really possess the ball that well or that much, and they didn't really give the strikers that many opportunities. So just kind of an average outing for the midfield, in my opinion. I like to see Amar Memic on the right side. He's pretty quick and fast. He had maybe like one or two opportunities at most. So he's definitely dangerous, but they need to have more opportunities for him. Kerim Alaybegovic, I didn't really see a lot of opportunities for him. So that was kind of disappointing. So it would be nice to see Bosnia's midfield, specifically Tahirovic, Šunjic, gets some nice crosses to Alajbegovic and Demirovic and to Memic and Dzeko. So I think Bosnia's midfield might be our weak point, but they still played okay. Um, Nothing too bad, but nothing too good either. The strikers, Edmedin Demirovic, they really didn't have any opportunities. He was pressing the goalkeeper and the defense when they got the ball, but another maybe disappointing game by him. He didn't really have any opportunities. Edin Dzeko also didn't have really any opportunities, and kind of a disappointing outing by Bosnia's attackers, Demirovic and Dzeko. But again, they played defensively in this game, so they weren't given a lot of opportunities. Edin Dzeko, he got substituted out in the second half. Jovo Lukic came in, so I think Dzeko gave them 60 minutes, and that's as much as he can give at this point, at his age, being 40 years old plus. And again, I mentioned Mahmic came in, and he was a nice little spark for Bosnia, scored that goal. So I would definitely want to see him play and get more minutes. Esmir Baraktarovic came in the second half as well. He didn't have a lot of opportunities either, so the young guys got some minutes in the second half. So, I mean, just overall, not the worst performance by Bosnia, but just a little disappointing. I wish we were more competitive. I wish we had more control over the ball. I wish the midfielders gave opportunities to the strikers. And Demirovic and Dzeko were really quiet this game. So just a little disappointed that this wasn't like an amazing game where we had a lot of opportunities, a lot of scoring chances, like where we had a chance to beat like Switzerland. So just slightly disappointed for me personally, but we'll see what the starting lineup looks like next game versus Qatar. I mentioned Tariq Muharamovic is going to miss that game because of his red card. We'll see who they put in his spot, but maybe that won't be too bad just because Bosnia has to win that game. So our focus has to be on offense and attacking, and we don't really, maybe Muharamovic won't be as important in that third game as he was in the first two games just because Bosnia needs to be a lot more offensive and get a big win versus Qatar. So we'll see who gets the start for Bosnia in the next game, and we'll see if some more of the guys, the young guys, get opportunities in the next game. All right, guys, we got one more game to go in the group stage for Bosnia and for all the other teams in the group. So Bosnia will face Qatar in game three, and Switzerland will face Canada in game three as well. So that's going to be the deciding game for the group for the top two spots who are going to directly qualify for the knockout stage. The team that's in third place still has an opportunity to make the knockout stage, but we want to avoid that. We want to be the first two teams in the group, and qualify directly for the knockout phase. So Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Qatar is on Wednesday, June 24th, 2026 in Seattle, Washington. So that's going to be another amazing game. If Bosnia wants to be the top two teams in the group and qualify for the knockout stage, we have to beat Qatar, which would mean we would have 4 points. And I think on the other matchup, Canada versus Switzerland, we have to see what happens there. But my expectation is that Switzerland will win this group. And as Bosnia, we have to beat Qatar to give ourselves a chance to be in the second spot and go to the knockout phase. So with Canada and Qatar playing today, this evening, we still have to see how that game plays out. And then we can better have a better picture of the final games to see who needs to win by how much and so on. So can't wait to watch this next game, Bosnia and Herzegovina versus Qatar, June 24th, 2026, Wednesday, Seattle, Washington. This is a must win for Bosnia. Bosnia is the favorite in this game as far as odds. So we have to prove that on the field. We have to get a huge win versus Qatar. We got that tie versus Canada. That's fine. We lost to Switzerland. Again, disappointing, but that's fine. What matters is this game 3 versus Qatar. This is make or break. This is everything that these guys have been training for and waiting for. So I expect Bosnia's best game of this tournament so far to be in game 3 versus Qatar. I expect a big win for Bosnia. I expect 3 points. I expect us to be in second place in the group and make the knockout phase. So anything less than that is going to be disappointing. Obviously, a loss is horrible. A tie would be horrible. We need to see a 2-0, 3-0 win for Bosnia, and they need to have their best game of the tournament be versus Qatar in Seattle, Washington. So let's go Dragons. We had 2 nice warm-up games for the World Cup. We got our feet wet. We got some experience. Let's go ahead and crush Qatar. Even though there are brotherly country, we need to crush them and get this win. Let's make the knockout stage. Let's get a little luck from the other 2 teams in the group that they don't get the second spot. So let's go Bosnia. Let's go Jeko. Let's go Demirovic. We need that goal from you. Let's go Bajraktarevic, Mehmic, Alajbegovic. It's all or nothing in game 3. And we'll see if we can get it done. All right, guys, that's all I wanted to share for this video. I really hope you enjoyed the video. I really hope you got some value out of the content. I hope you learned something as well. If you did, again, subscribe to my YouTube channel so that I can continue making these videos. Hit that like button. Make some comments on your reaction to Bosnia versus Switzerland, on your thoughts on Bosnia versus Qatar, and we'll see what happens. Let's go Bosnian Dragons, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.